Look?
Listen? Taylor's not here?
No, he's not here. Unfortunately, Clambos, by the way, this is Look, Listen with Geese Guyera, sometimes Taylor, episode 103. This time we're discussing episode 55 of the Horizons anime. Geese's favorite kind of episode, nonstop battling. Yes, like Geese said, no Taylor on account of there's a big giant storm. Nobody in Houston has any electricity. He's stranded. He can't record. So wish him the best.
Wait, they're still out of electricity?
Some places are. I have the Whataburger map pulled up to see which because the government won't tell people what areas have electricity. But if you open the Whataburger app, you see these are the areas of southeast Houston that have electricity by the orange Whataburgers versus the gray Whataburgers. There's one open Whataburger by where my family lives, so let's hope they can make it through. Right, Geese?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, Clambos, our first segment of the day is always Geese, what's new with Geese? What's happening with Geese? Geese, what have you been up to these last week or two since the last time you have discussed what is up with Geese?
Well, all right. Well,
oh my God, she's so thrilled.
I'm not used to like talking without getting interrupted. It's just a lot for me. It's a lot of freedom. It's a lot to handle.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Last week, Michael flew into DC and we explored the great capital of this country.
We went to the Lincoln Memorial. We went to Forrest Gump Lake with the giant spire that goes towards the heavens. We were going to go to my favorite band's concert, Mother Mother, but Geese got a tumbo, so she didn't even go.
You went, though.
I went, and it was a wonderful time, and guys, you'll never believe it. You're going to say I'm lying, but no, it's all true. In the middle of the concert, the lead singer of the band stops the whole concert and points it out to me, and he said to all the tens of thousands or 6,000 to 9,000 people, that's the capacity, 6,000. Who knows? Maybe it was 7,000, but it doesn't matter. So many thousands of people. He points at me, and he says, Michael makes the world a better place, and everybody's clapping and everybody's making little heart symbols, and Geese missed it all. She could have been a celebrity. She said was sick with the tumbus. Got a bit of the tumbo.
Did I go to the concert? No. Did I eat kava? Yes.
There was a kava by the baseball stadium at the baseball field in Washington, D.C.
Michael really lucked out because he arrived in the 2 days where it wasn't unbearably hot or humid, which is very rare for DC in the summer. So we did a lot of walking. And like Michael said, we explored the mall and we had a grand old time. Yeah.
What's funny is whenever I travel, I like to eat a bunch of food specific to the place. Poor Washington, D.C. I just ate Raising Cane's 2 times, but in eating of the week, I'll discuss all the cheesesteaks I ate in Philadelphia, at least.
Also, unrelated, I saw an owl yesterday.
Oh my God. Was it a sick owl?
Yeah. I saw it flying and I was walking with Aaron and I was like, oh, look, an owl. And it slowly flapped over us and we were like, we probably should have taken a picture. And we had ample amount of time to do it, but we just didn't.
How could you know? I've been conditioned by Geese. Anytime I see a bird in any habitat, I pull out the phone, I try to video, I try to photograph. I do my best.
We were out of it. We weren't at the height of our bird awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the Philadelphia birds, they will sit still for a picture. Over here, they always fly away. Philadelphia, they'll give you a whole photo shoot, Geese people.
The old razzle dazzle.
Yeah, they do. Man, Philadelphia is such an old city. It's crazy. Those buildings were so ancient. And Washington, D.C. It was crazy.
Philadelphia is older.
Yeah, you could tell. Geese, was there more to discuss in this segment before we move on to watching, playing, eating?
I went shopping the other day and got 2 t-shirts.
What kind of t-shirts did you get?
Just regular t-shirts.
Just
One's
solid
blue,
color?
Yeah, one's solid blue. The other one is white with green stripes.
Wow. That's
I know.
crazy. Wow.
Highlight of my week.
The highlight of your week was buying 2 shirts.
Yes, I have many of these shirts. They're the same kind of shirt with the stretchy material. I really like the fit of it. And I always go right to the clearance section. And I got 2 of these shirts that I like for $16.
Wow. Give the link in the chat so everybody can buy 2 shirts for $16.
You just gotta go. You gotta go. And
you just got. There's no link. Sorry, guys. You gotta make the trip out to American Eagle. Geese Peep, are we prepared for watching, playing, eating of the week?
Yeah.
Guys, this week I saw 2 movies, which coincidentally, I believe they are both the 3rd movies in their specific horror series. Those movies are, of course, Maxine and Quiet Place Day One. Did I need to see either of these movies? No. Were either of them that great? No. They were kind of boring, whatever movies. Kind of a waste of time. Which, honestly, Geese Peep and Clambos, kind of par for the course since the dawn of time. The 3rd in a horror series, always pretty whatever. Like, that's Ghoulies Go to College. That's Child's Play 3, Andy Goes to College. They're just not great movies. And I don't even... Maxine wasn't really a horror movie. There's not much scary stuff in it. Pearl and X were way better than Maxine. And I waited so long to see Maxine because Pearl was part 2. It was a prequel, but it came out so quick after X. It came out, I want to say, in the same year. It was wild.
I think it did.
Because they always put a little preview for the next movie at the end of the old one. So I've been looking forward to Maxine forever. And it was just absolute whatever movie. I don't recommend either. But
I heard people didn't like the 3rd act of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, none of the acts are good. The 3rd act is, just real dumb. Kind of feels like, I don't know, I've said this a number of times, but it feels like some early 2000s movie or made for TV movie or episode of a live action Scooby-Doo TV show or something. Yeah, you guys don't need to waste your time with that. I'm still watching House of Dragon, though. That continues to be good. You should watch that. That's still good.
What were your overall thoughts on A Quiet Place Day One?
I have no idea why that movie exists. With that series, I kind of have way more fun with the lore aspect, and it was just a dinky little story. Kind of predictable. I gotta hand it to him a little bit, though, because I saw trailers for this movie 1 million times, but they actually didn't reveal the main conceit of the movie. I believe I'm using that word correctly. So that's kind of neat, but it was just a boring, dumb little movie. Nothing cool. Sorry. And much like Maxine series, the X series, yes, Geese. Geese is using her eyebrows for audio listeners.
Sorry, I had to turn off my alarm.
Uh-oh. I did enjoy Quiet Place and Quiet Place Part 2. I know a lot of people complain about Quiet Place Part 2, but Quiet Place Part 2 already did Quiet Place Day 1. Quiet Place Part 2 opens with the day everything happens, but with the characters you care about and John Krasinski. So just a completely unnecessary movie. I have nothing against John Krasinski, but I kind of feel like he had to get this movie out so he could finance his other movie he was making, that nobody went to go see. Poor guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it made some amount of money. And guys, in my eating this week, as previously mentioned, I have never been to Philadelphia. Philly cheesesteaks used to be my favorite food on the whole planet, and I haven't had a good Philly cheesesteak in so many years. So when I get to Philadelphia, the very first Philly cheesesteak I eat at this little hole-in-the-wall place, oh my God, it was incredible, so good. And I asked all these people from Philadelphia what I should get, and I had Cooper Sharp white cheese for the first time in my life, and it was incredible. And I went to Ishkabibble, so that was okay. Yes, geese.
So what did you get on the first cheesesteak?
First cheesesteak, always what I always get, which is the onions and provolone cheese. And before anybody has anything to say about anything, I asked multiple Philadelphians, and they said, don't worry about the whole has to be Cheese Whiz. That's just the internet. People in Philadelphia don't care. And it's true, they don't care. But the Cooper Sharp White, definitely the best cheese. I did get one with Cheese Whiz. It was all right. But ever since I was a little kid, Geese, I watched the Food Network or the Travel Channel in the early 2000s, and they said, these are the two competing cheesesteak places in Philadelphia, Geno's and Pat's, and you got to try them both.
Yeah.
And it's a rivalry as old as time. So I march over there. Pat's King of Steaks, very tasty. That's where I had Cooper Sharp White. Yum, yum, yum. I went to Geno's, Geese. We can't swear on this family-friendly podcast, but what a joke. It was terrible. They didn't taste good at all.
Wow.
So Pat's wins big time. Pat's actually chops up their meat so it looks like a Philly cheesesteak. You go over to Geno's, the meat just looks like, I don't know, kind of like an Italian beef or a big slice of roast beef. They don't even chop it off. Chop it up. And they don't have Cooper Sharp White cheese. So lose.
Wow.
They're more of characters over at Geno's, but I've since learned they've rubbed some people the wrong way, Geese. So maybe maybe their beliefs don't match up with other people's. But yeah, so just go to Pat's. I wanted to go to Angelo's, but they were closed for 4th of July. I don't hold it against them. Oh my God, Geese! I was walking around the city of Philadelphia, downtown on 4th of July, looking at all these old buildings, all these old men singing all these Star-Spangled Banners. The birds are tweeting. I'm walking into Wawa, eating a bunch of chicken tender pub subs and Philly cheesesteak melts. And oh, it was amazing. And I ate some stuffed pretzels, and I ate some, because Geese told me, some John's water ice. I had cherry and lemon. Yum, yum, yum.
Wait, what was the pretzel situation?
They had stuffed cheese pretzels and stuffed cream cheese pretzels. Now, ever since I was a little kid, I loved a cream cheese stuffed pretzel. So that's the one I went for, and it was good. All right, Geese, she's making a disgusted face. She wants to say, ugh.
You didn't try the regular pretzels?
It is a regular pretzel, but it has a little bit of cream cheese inside. Oh, her eyebrows are going to Mars, guys.
Did you have a pretzel from the Pretzel Factory?
The Pretzel Factory?
Yeah, the Philadelphia Pretzel Factory.
Oh, maybe if that was that food cart. I did eat a pretzel at the concert from a food truck. I think it said Philadelphia Pretzel.
Hold on, let me see.
I'm not sure if it's the exact.
Probably is. Good pretzels.
Good pretzels. All right, Geese, I've talked enough and I need to rest my voice. What would you like to say this week regarding watching, playing, and eating?
So, watching. I think I've talked about it before. I believe I have, that I got a wildlife bird feeder camera for my birthday many moons ago. I've been watching the birds, but I had to take it down because I saw a bird with avian flu.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to take it down and I had to wash it with bleach and quarantine it for a week. So I put it back up and I've been watching the critters. We got the typical birds. We've got the deer. This one buck eats about 80% of the seeds. No. And he comes back like 4 times a day and he eats all of it. My mom will fill it up and he'll just come back and clear it out.
What a glutton. Not even the raccoons can get their share.
Yes. And I saw the raccoons, the mama and the babies. And they were trying to get the seeds, but there was no seeds left because the deer ate all of it. Also,
what a shame.
For some reason, I've had this camera for like a month up. The squirrels have now just discovered it. So
what do they do to it?
They just eat everything.
Oh, everybody eats everything. Wait, now hold on. We got to back up a little bit. How can you tell a bird has avian flu?
It had the characteristic symptoms, which are growths on its beak and feet.
Oh my gosh, scary.
Mm-hmm.
Bird flu. Uh-oh.
Wait, is it avian flu or avian pox? It's avian something and it's a sickness, so.
Avian bad news, so stay away from that bird. Geese Peep, would you like to move on to your Eatin' of the Week?
Yes, I would like to circle back to kava. Now, we have discussed many times what we get at kava, and I get the same thing. And I always ask you to get it and to try it and to see what you think. And when I was in D.C., I got that opportunity. So I would like to hear your full thoughts about my kava order.
Would you like to tell the audience the exact kava order so we know what we're dealing with here? Because it was, I will reveal, very tasty. Now, I would take the tomatoes out personally because I don't eat the tomatoes. But it was a very good bowl. And normally, the few times I've been to Cava, I always get a wrap with a bunch of, what is it called? Scrudge?
Scrug?
Scrug.
Scrag?
And
What
a bunch
is it? The green
scraggies.
stuff.
Yeah, the green stuff. And probably some chicken and some falafel. And it's always tasty. You guys know, I don't need to repeat myself about all their little lilac, floral, scented drinks and whatnot. But Geese is pulling up her order as we speak.
Okay.
Soon enough, she's going to say it.
It's a greens and grain bowl with rice and then the splendid greens with the grilled chicken with red pepper hummus, creamy feta sauce.
Yummy.
Then garlic dressing on the side, hot harissa on the side.
That's
Toppings
good.
include cherry tomatoes and cucumbers.
That's all right.
Pickled onions, corn, sometimes fiery broccoli, but I didn't get fiery broccoli this time. The order has been cut off my phone, so I'm trying to remember. Feta.
Oh.
What else? More cucumbers. Persian cucumbers.
More cucumbers.
I think that's it.
Did you remember to say half saffron basmati rice?
Yes. So
cabbage slaw?
The greens and grain bowl is half rice, half greens.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I found it on the I just typed in harissa and then it pulled up your order. Cell phones are so amazing. You could just type something in and you find something. But yeah, it's a very good order. Maybe I'll try it next time. Geese Peep, I think you got to talk about some pub mix. You know you do.
So Aaron and I went to Costco the other day and we got a giant container of pub snack mix. So it's got the pretzels and it's got the Cheetos and it's got the sesame sticks and the rice crackers. And I've eaten half of it.
Oh my God. I wonder if those are at all Costco's or only Costco's where you are. Who's to say?
It depends. Costco stuff is not always uniform. You can't always find everything at all of them.
I'm always seeing little ads or not ads, but people talking about, look what I found at Costco, and it's some super cheap Pokemon cards, and then you have a bunch of comments from people in California saying, where? I don't see them anywhere. And it's because they're only at the other locations, not anywhere near us. Geese Peep, do you have more to add before we move on to Poke News of the Week?
I also went to a baseball game and I had a very good hot dog.
Nice. But how was your tumbo afterwards?
The tumbo was bad, but it was only bad when I got home and I ate some banana bread.
So it was really the banana bread that caused the tumbo, not the baseball hot dog.
I don't know. Also,
jury's out on that one.
At the baseball game, they had a dog that would collect the bat after each hit, and it was so cute.
Oh my goodness! At my baseball games next door, I could walk to the baseball. It's so close. But they've got VTubers singing songs now, so that's fun.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's making the rounds. I gotta go see some baseball. Everybody's having the time of their life at baseball. Wait, is baseball over? No. World Series hasn't happened, right? No, we're good. So there's still time to see baseball. Geese Peep, are we prepared to go to Poke News of the Week? Don't you have a Poke News of the Week button on you?
No. He doesn't have any of the voice filters set up.
Oh my God, what a waste of flying to Wisconsin. All right, Clambos. It's time to give you absolutely hot off the presses Poke News of the Week. I'm talking, this was just posted. You're never going to believe it. Sarah B reports that the next Pokemon Sleep event has been announced. It's the first anniversary fest. What do you mean first anniversary fest? Pokemon Sleep's been around for a year? I don't believe it. You're a liar.
I'm not lying.
She's lying. The first anniversary fest runs from July 15th through July 28th, and it adds which Pokemon, Geese?
The Paldean starters.
Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley are at it again, but this time Pokemon sleep in all their evolutions, and you can evolve them, and there's some very cute art with some little balloons. Also, Cerebi reports the next 3 Outbreak and Terror Raid battles have been confirmed. We got a 7-star Dondozo. I'm always mispronouncing his name. Dondozo. He's water type.
Dondozo Island.
Got him. And then we got Dragonite Raids. We got Tatsugiri Outbreaks. We got Shiny Gimmighoul, Geese's favorite Pokemon. And the 7-star normal Dragonite. Did Geese say ew?
I don't like Gimmighoul.
Calm down. Actually, she's fine with Gimmighoul. She just doesn't like Goldango. Everybody's favorite string cheese surfer, man. All right, Geese, it's time to move on to an episode of Pokemon. It's episode 55 of Horizons. I believe last time on Pokes, normally Taylor takes care of this, so this is just straight off the top, me trying to remember. Geese, there was Fritos, and he went on a big quest, and he went to his old job, and he was trying to find this secret eternal blessing, but I think a bunch of Explorers members got it, and it was a big plot-heavy episode. We finally met Gibeon. We saw what he looks like. Turns out he's the grandfather of Amethio. I can't believe it, Geese. It's all over the place. What are we going to do? Prior to us seeing Gibeon, it actually was very confusing for a while, keeping track of all these Explorers villains. Who's Gibeon? Who's Spinal? And yes, Behem belongs to Spinal, even though Taylor foolishly and mistakenly said it doesn't make sense for it to belong to Spinal. He was
wrong.
A fool. He was wrong. Geese Peep, this week's episode was not huge and plot heavy. It's just nothing but battle. So what an episode for Taylor to miss and you to be here for. So congratulations on the dice roll. Would you like to tell us the name of the episode in English prior to me saying the name of the episode in Japanese?
Confrontation. The Elite Four of Paldea.
She took that exclamation point seriously. Or in Japanese, たいけつ Paldea. I'm trying to do it just like Liko does it.してんのう.
Here's my one sentence synopsis. Ready, guys? Tag team time. That's it.
Nice one, Geese. That is
Thank you.
Pretty good synopsis of what happens this week. Clambos, we open at the old Naranha Academy. We see all the kids, every last student, and Jacques, the teacher, is thanking them all for completing all their reports.
That's the man with the glasses, right?
He's the one that looks weird in anime, but I think looks fine in a 3D model in the video game. And honestly him
guys?
Of all people, honestly, guys, because I much prefer the Japanese dub, right? And some of these characters make sense that they would be Japanese. Roy's from Kanto, Liko, whatever. Jacques, to me, is so Spanish. It doesn't make sense for me to hear him speaking Japanese. I wish he was speaking Spanish or English, but that's not how the world works. So yes, Jacques thanks them all. And then Director Clavel, the principal, the headmaster of the school, he says, guys, children, the next activity is going to be revealed right now. You all are going to battle against the Elite Four. And Gita comes out, the big giant champion. Oh my God. Sandoichi, a.k.a. Sandwich, a.k.a. Coral. She says there better be some tough battles. And it looks like it is going to be some tough battles, Geese, because it's going to be the toughest trainers in all the land. Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
We cut straight, immediate, no time to waste. We cut straight to the outdoor battlegrounds, and Dot says, there's no way to win. We're never going to win. These are the strongest trainers in the world. What are we going to do? But Nimona shows up. That's right. We've seen her in a million series. She's a champion as well. She says there's no need to fear, Dot, because in this challenge, you're going to be teamed up. Yes, Geese, so there's some flies buzzing around.
Yeah, there's some flies. Sorry.
There's some flies buzzing around, Geese, but no need to fear, Geese, because your gym leader is going to battle alongside you, because that's how this challenge is going to work, so you'll stand a chance.
And here's the rules. If they knock out even one of the Elite Four's Pokemon, the student wins. However, if the student's Pokemon get knocked out, the student loses.
Yes. And I also misunderstood the rules because I could have sworn to you the rule was no terrestrialization allowed. But clearly that's not the case.
No.
They must just mean for the gym leader.
Yeah, the gym leaders can't.
Yeah, but the children are allowed to terrestrialize. Oh, hey, Ino's here. Dot, you're up first. Geese, how much anxiety would you have if you were the first girl who had to battle against the Elite Four? No time to worry about it. Or actually, would that be better for you? Because
that'd be better for me. Yeah, because I wouldn't have to worry at all. And there'd be no expectations.
Could you imagine if you were last and you had to just sit there baking in your anxiety, just swimming in it at battle after battle? Oh my God.
Yeah, I want to get it over with.
Poor Geese. Well, Dendra's gonna dodge. You remember Dendra. She was at the school. Looks like Dot and Ino are gonna battle against the Steel type Elite Four member Poppy. She's just a little girl, Geese. She's a baby.
And she has what looks like a giant key around her neck, but is later revealed to be some sort of bag.
Yeah, it's a key-shaped bag. We get the intro song, and as soon as we come back from the theme song, we get Quaxley and Bellybolt versus... I almost said Paldea. versus Poppy.
Versus Big Elephant and Hammer Girl.
Caparajah and Tinkaton, everybody's favorite Steel-type Pokemon that belong to a Paldea and Elite Four member. Also, very important to note, Clambos, we got a cute little Smoliv and a Sentret watching from the stands. And like he said, very sick rules. Only need to knock out one Pokemon and then you win. And now the battle begins. Bellybolt used Discharge. Oh my God, Tinkaton jumps on top of Caparajah's back. A sandstorm. Quaxley's hair, Geese, did you see his hair in the sandstorm?
Yeah, I did. I took a screenshot.
It's getting so messy. Oh my God. Here comes Tinkaton with a giant Gigaton hammer, but luckily Bellybolt uses Reflect. Oh no, Geese. Dot, she's letting her anxiety get the best of her.
She's caught off guard and she's not thinking or doing anything.
Oh my God, but after a little bit of commentary from the Peanut Gallery and a little encouragement from Ino, Dot says Water Gun. But it's blocked by Tinkaton's hammer, so she tries a Liquidation. But Tinkaton uses Brick Break. And, Geese Peep, the Reflect, it breaks. Now I think we're already done, because we already see such a crazy combo attack coming right for baby Quaxley. We see Caparajah use a Rock Slide, Tinkaton uses Rock Smash, and Bellybolt gets hit. He's hit with 1,000,000 rocks. But he's not knocked out yet, Geese. And Ino tells him to use Slack Off, and he starts to gain some of his HP back. Now, Geese. Dot comes up with an idea. What does she tell Quaxley to do on top of Bellybolt's belly?
She sees Quaxley getting pumped up, getting ready to go by dancing, and she tells him to dance on his belly in order to charge him up.
Oh my God, what a genius play by Dot. She's activating Electromorphosis. The flies are attacking Geese, and Bellybolt's just getting stronger and stronger. But Tinkatink uses another Gigaton hammer, but Bellybolt at the last second dodges out of the way, and Quaxley is thrown up into the air. And Dot terrestrializes. Oh my God. Liquidation! We get such a sick little shot here. Well, I guess not little, it kind of lasts a while. But this prolonged Dragon Ball Z Tinkaton versus Quaxley clash in the sky. Very sick. Very sick. And during this scuffle, Bellybolt jumps on top of Caparajah and uses a Zap Cannon. And for anyone unfamiliar with Zap Cannon, Geese, I'm looking at you. This is a very, very powerful electric type move. Now, its accuracy is low, but that doesn't seem to be a problem here because, oh my goodness gracious, the Zap Cannon hits Caparajah and Caparajah is knocked out. Dot wins!
Ow.
But Geese,
she's all moody about it.
Yeah, why is Dot so sad? I thought she just won.
Because she thinks that Ino set it all up for her. But in reality, they worked together and she responded well to the situation.
Which, spoilers, very different than maybe how Roy would react at the end of a battle. Well, time for the next battle. Great work, Quaxley, by the way. We see a giant explosion out of nowhere, Geese, and then we get a commercial break. This episode is going by fast, Clambos. I'm telling you right now, I didn't even fill up my whole notes because it's just boom, 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 battle, battle, battle. We come back from the commercial break, and looks like we've got Kofu, the water-type gym leader, and Sanduichi versus Larry, everybody's favorite gym leader and Elite Four member. Glalie, you self-destruct, like Sanduichi does every single time. But, Geese, what happens if you use self-destruct and everybody gets knocked out?
They lose. Even though they knocked out the Elite Four Pokemon, since their Pokemon also got knocked out, they lose.
Yep. Glalie knocked itself out, knocked out Kofu's Wug Trio, knocked out Larry's Flamigo, knocked out Larry's Oricorio. And honestly, Geese, Beep, I'm surprised she didn't take out the entire audience, because that was a big explosion.
Yeah, I liked when they showed the audience faces. Everyone was so shocked.
The fact that anybody's walking out of there alive is a gosh darn miracle. Nobody wins. Way to go, Sanduichi. Everyone's aghast, and Sando just runs away. But that's okay, Geese, because now it's time for our boy Roy. And if Taylor were here, he'd probably be excited, because he loves Roy, loves Fuecoco. And speaking of Fuecoco, our boy is so ready for his Elite Four debut battle. He's a hunky and he's a jumping and a dancing. Now, guys, somebody needs to have a talk with Brassius, because this man is putting himself into such danger standing on the toppiest. He's standing on the speakers. That's got to be an OSHA violation, Geese.
He's a dramatic man, and he knows how to make an entrance.
You can't stand hundreds of feet up in the air with your little whip and just jump off and do a bunch of somersaults and backflips, and he's going to hurt himself. And then he calls Roy guard, and Grimer is going to cheer them on from the stands. So that'll be fun. Brassius and Roy are going to battle against Hassel, the dragon-type Elite Four member. And Roy's real excited about this because he really likes dragon-type Pokemon, Geese. And he's saying, wow, dragons, just like Rayquaza.
Yeah, he's excited. He wants to learn something so that he can be better prepared for Rayquaza.
For the big giant battle against Rayquaza. Also, we got a Shinx and a Flaffy watching from the stands. Then we get a very dramatic sentence, Geese Peep, from Hassel, I believe. He says, even a baby dragon aspires to spread its wings. Just makes me want to watch more House of Dragon.
Just a lot of drama overall between these three, I would say.
Yeah.
Very passionate trio.
Yeah, they have a flair for the dramatic. And Hassel sends out Baxcalibur and Flapple. And honestly, some cool Pokemon to pick. I like those guys. Flapple's my boy. Baxcalibur, very interesting design.
Wait, what's the other form of Flapple?
There's actually a lot of them now, but Appleton was his initial little pairing. He just looks like an apple pie.
And that's also dragon type?
Oh yeah, they have to be because they're Gigantamax forms. Both Flapple and Appleton are the exact same Gigantamax form. Introduced into the later DLCs, Applin can also evolve into Diplin, a candy apple Pokemon, and the Diplin can evolve into Hydrapple, which is a Hydra. Looks real scary, Geese. He can have a bunch of worm heads fly out of that apple.
What's your favorite kind of apple?
Well, there's a lot of new apple flavors out these days, but when I was a kid, I was like Granny Smith.
Did you know that apple was my first word?
Did I? That sounds kind of familiar. Maybe I knew somebody else with that as their first. My first word was ice.
Wow. You've always been sweaty, huh?
Oh my God. So then Brassius, to fight against these unbelievably terrifying dragons, he throws out a Dolliv. Just not even an Arboliva, just a middle stage baby Dolliv. All right. Fuecoco, use Flame Charge. Baxcalibur, use Ice Shard. Dodge it. Acid Spray. Flapple. Seed Bomb Dolliv. Oh my God, there's so many attacks, I can't keep track. Fuecoco hits Baxcalibur, but what? Is he stuck? Is Baxcalibur too cold? What is going on? Baxcalibur uses Glaive Rush, but Fuecoco dodges it. Oh my God, Geese. Baxcalibur's so strong.
And we learned that Baxcalibur can transfer heat into energy and turn it into ice.
He uses his ability, Thermal Exchange, and every single one of these fire-type attacks just boosts Baxcalibur's own attack power. Oh my god, Roy, way to go. You're just powering him up. So then Roy says, Fuecoco, use Disarming Voice, which is actually a great idea, Geese, because it's a fairy-type move. That's true. Dragons are weak to fairy moves. So now, actually, way to go, Roy. Good work. And then Flapple uses Grab Apple. And Geese, what happens? Fuecoco's looking up at the apple in the sky, and
he's opening his mouth and he's drooling because he's hungry.
He thinks it's a real apple, but it's not. So instead, Fuecoco's just smacked dead in the face. Oh my god. Flamethrower, which questionable decision, you ask me, because it's powering up a Baxcalibur.
Well, Brassius explains to Roy that when you're having trouble, you should fall back on your passion. So that's why Roy decides to use fire moves anyway.
And then Dolive uses Helping Hand to make this flamethrower even more impressive. And it turns into this big giant fireball, but then Flapple uses Twister, and it becomes a fire tornado, and Baxcalibur jumps right inside of it and freezes it, Geese!
They're losing it over that. They really love that.
Yeah, all of them do. And then the biggest power glaive rush imaginable comes straight for Fuecoco. He's running for his little baby life. And he's just about to get help. He's just about to get hit. But then Dolive at the last second, what does it do, Geese?
That was a question I had for you. I was confused. and I didn't quite hear it correctly, but tied a grass around Fuecoco or something? What happened?
Dolive uses Grass Knot, grabs onto little Fuecoco's leg so it could kind of pull Fuecoco out of the way of the attack at the last second.
Oh, okay.
And then Dolive used Seed Bomb, more flamethrowers. But now Hassle's having both of his Pokemon use Protect to stop all these attacks. Dolive, use Energy Ball. Fuecoco, it's time to terrestrialize. Flamethrower, a huge giant fireball, Geese. Now we're talking. It's a true piece of art. Baxcalibur blizzards the fireball, and it truly is a song of ice and fire, and I need to go watch even more House of Dragon because we have a Dolive Energy Ball covered in fire, surrounded by ice. Very artistic. But then, as they're all just staring at how cool this looks, what does Baxcalibur do?
Just pummels Fuecoco. Just obliterates Fuecoco.
He glaive rushes straight through the freezing fire and knocks out Fuecoco so hard. Knocks out Dolive. I'm sad to say, Roy loses.
My question is, what was Roy's plan?
Roy's plan regarding...
Like, what was Roy trying to do? Like, what did he think was going to happen?
He only has to knock out one Pokemon, so he could try to knock out Flapple.
Okay.
That's what I would have done. Roy loses, but Geese, he had so much fun.
He had so much fun, and he learned so much. And you know what? You know what I say? Do you know what I say, Michael?
Gamers never lose.
Gamers never lose when they have fun.
So we learn that Roy beat the fake gamer allegations. He is a true gamer. That's what we learned in this episode. And like I said earlier, Roy's reaction, very different than Dot. The boy loses, but he's still having the time of his life. Where, meanwhile, Dot's crying because she won. So, all right, guys, come on. Speaking of crying, Hassle's crying because he's so happy that everybody's growing. Roy's growing as a little trainer. Brassius is growing as a gym leader. He's growing as an Elite Four member. And, Roy learned another valuable lesson all about how you make a battle by making it together. Am I right, Geese?
So true.
There's a very cute little scene here when Hassle's crying and Baxcalibur comes up to him to hug and console him.
Oh,
really sweet.
It's very sweet.
Then we cut back to Roy talking to Nimona. Roy's still got to get stronger and stronger. And one day he's going to battle that Rayquaza. One day he's going to battle Nimona. He's going to do great.
He's going to keep losing and keep learning.
That's the gamer's way. Guys, it is Lico's turn next, but we don't even need to see the to be continued screen. We can tell you that that's not going to happen until next week, because you look at the amount of time left in the episode, there's no way we have time for her battle. Also, we see that Rika, her Claude, Sire, and her Doug trio went against Onigiri and his Garganacl and Tulips Esperatha. I always say Esperatha, but it's Espathra. Do you like that ostrich Pokemon? Espathra?
I didn't see it, but I was so mesmerized by the lady with her butterfly aesthetic. What's her deal?
Yes. She's Tulip. She's like, she has a very cool gym because it's got all the old Game Boy sprites all around it. She's psychic type gym leader.
She looks so cool.
I'm surprised you didn't lose it over Espathra and her Sia haircut.
I was too mesmerized by this lady. She was very pretty, and I liked the vibe.
You heard it here first. Geese is going to cosplay as Tulip. Coming to
I bet that'd be really cute, actually.
Yes. So apparently in this battle, Onigiri sacrificed his Pokemon for the good of the gander or something.
I was confused by that.
Basically, he was making the call that he thought was more honorable, but everybody said, but you realize you lose if you do that. You would have been fine if the other Pokemon was knocked out. And he said, no, I'm not going to win like that. So whatever. It's cool. He walks off too.
That's not my brand.
So now the next battle has been decided. It's Lico's Florigato and Katie's Low Kicks, and they're going to battle next week against Rika. This poor girl's I hope she heals her Pokemon first. And we get a to be continued screen. Now, before we discuss, God, this episode just ended. We've had some abrupt endings before, but I don't recall ever feeling this just, it's over. In any episode we've ever discussed. That's good. Geese Beat, before we discuss how we feel about the episode, take it away with whatever Frito's seminar of the week this week is with Baxcalibur.
Baxcalibur. Today's seminar is on Baxcalibur, who is an ice dragon Pokemon, and its most prominent feature is its large dorsal fin, which it uses to absorb something and convert it into power. Do you know what it uses? Is it A, cold air, B, electricity, or C, heat?
The answer, which is honestly a bit counterintuitive, is C, heat.
Yes. With its power, it turns its fin into a giant ice sword. And then we got an animation, which I wasn't that impressed with compared to the other seminar animations. We just see Fuecoco and Captain Pikachu looking down in a hole where Baxcalibur is sleeping in a hole, and Cap looks a little nervous, and Fuecoco just smiles and touches its fin and then gets all blue and sneezes, and that's it. And I was like, guys.
He gets a cold. What are you going to do? Geese Beep, we got to discuss this episode. We got to give it a score. And I feel bad for this episode because you have ruined me. I can't say the word because. I can't even hear other people say the word because then I hear because. This comes after such a plot-heavy, important episode. It's just some battling. I mean, there were some cool parts, but it wasn't even really that sick.
The basic tests were kind of sudden, and I wanted more development out of them. So I liked that they did bring them back.
Yeah, that was nice. Strengthens their relationship, I guess. But I didn't really enjoy watching this episode. I didn't even enjoy recapping this episode.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not as bad as an episode where we have to just track down a Pokemon and look at its tracks, because that's been done a million times. But I suppose this has been done a million times too. Oh, it's a little tournament battle situation. It just wasn't interesting enough for me. I guess I got to give it, the highest I can give it is a 6. I feel bad giving it a 5 something, because I think if I'm going to give something a 5, it's got to be offensively bad. I just wasn't into this episode. So yeah, 6 out of 10. Sorry. I bet Taylor really likes the battle, so he probably would have really liked it, but 6 out of 10. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to give it a 6.5 because though it wasn't for me, I didn't hate watching it, and I felt like it went pretty quickly.
Yeah. Like I said, fewer notes on the thing. So if you're one of those people who watches anime via a list of things you can skip with filler and whatnot, I don't know if this would classify as filler, but you don't need to watch it at all. It's not important in the slightest. So sorry about that, guys.
I have a question for you.
Geese's question of the week.
Do you think next week that Trapagos is going to break free of the bag and save Liko somehow, and then her big secret will be revealed, and then the head of the school is going to be like, yo, what's that Pokemon? And then
what leads you
going to be a big deal.
What leads you to believe that may happen?
I don't know. Well, she did tell Anne, her roommate, her old roommate, to watch Trapagos while she battles. So I was like, maybe that's foreshadowing that Trapagos is going to break free and her secret's going to be revealed, and they're going to be like, yo, the Elite Four is going to be like, what's going on? And then they're going to be like, we want to be involved somehow.
What is going on? I don't know if we have time for all that. Maybe if Liko's battle ends quickly enough. Now, I have to admit, I've already seen spoilers of next week's episode because when it first aired, all over Twitter, people were just talking about how cool Lokix was. So I've seen battling, but I haven't seen any of the plot of the episode other than Lokix being sick. So maybe that'll happen. Do you remember the title of next week's episode? I'd laugh if the title was Terapagos Revealed, Big Giant Secrets for the whole school to see.
I don't know.
She doesn't know. So my guess would be no, I do not think that will happen, but keep hope alive. Am I right?
Do you think Liko's dad is going to be in the stands watching somehow?
No, this isn't. This, honestly, what they're doing now is not a huge deal. It's just a little afternoon practice thing they got going on. It's not like Liko's trying to do her championship test or something. It's just a little something they cooked up. I don't know if this is happening over the course of multiple days or if they have multiple different little battlegrounds all over the place, because we only see a couple of the kids do this. There's only 8 gym leaders, yet they had just a flood of students who were all supposed to be doing this. So I don't know.
There was different battles going on. That's why there was the big giant explosion with
Glalie.
Glalie. It's happening simultaneously.
True. God, they need to be healing those Pokemon. All right, Geese, I guess that wraps up our discussion for Pokemon this week. Sorry, guys. 6 and 6.5. All right, Geese, let's take it into the wrap-up. I hope next week is a better episode.
We'll see. Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can follow us on social media at Look, Listen, Cast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Like and comment so it sends more people our way. And then thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him at twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
What's Keith streaming these days?
Yesterday he streamed ukulele.
Ooh, well, I say ooh to support him, but actually I'm a big ukulele hater. I'm one of the biggest Banjo-Kazooie heads around, and ukulele stinks to high heaven. I kickstarted that game, and I've never been more disappointed.
Wow.
Ukulele is a bad game. Sorry, everybody. Also, shouts out Professor Ticklebits for the boilerplate and website. You can follow him on twitch.tv/prof_ticklebits. Maybe watch a VOD and see Geese. Who's to say?
That's me.
What sort of stuff have you been streaming on that website?
I've been playing more Infinite Wealth, and I've been watching Aaron rank at SNES games. So.
Ooh. I hear you were very supportive of his favorite game, Super Mario RPG, engaged in the game the whole time.
He wouldn't let me light sparklers inside.
What?
I know.
It was the 4th of July weekend. What are you supposed to do? Could have a bucket of water just in case.
I did. I had a cup of water, and I lit one in the bathtub, but then I remembered that smoke. and there's a fire alarm nearby, so I had to quickly put it out.
Sounds like a great 4th of July weekend. Also, thank you, artist supporters. You can support us by going to looklistencast.com or on any of the little podcast feeds. There should be a link there. Thank you so much. Everybody, please recommend this podcast to your friends and family members. There's not even one single swear word, so you can send it to grandmas and nieces and nephews. Also, please send questions to looklistencast@gmail.com. Geese Peep, this week, I realize we didn't talk about it at the beginning. We probably should have. My question to you, Geese, is what was your favorite thing you saw in the museums the other day when we went to the American Indian Museum? And what was the name of the art museum?
National Gallery of Art.
The National Gallery of Art.
My favorite thing was in the National Gallery of Art seeing the in the National Gallery of Art seeing the Mary Cassatt's. There we go.
What is Mary Cassatt's? You just made up some
Mary
syllables.
Cassatt. She's an artist. She was an impressionist.
She was a depressionist.
Michael. Also,
what?
Guys, I was telling Michael all these history things about the paintings, and I was all leading up to seeing the only Leonardo da Vinci painting in North America, and we get into the room, and I'm like, look, there it is, and he's just like, oh, just so nonchalant about it.
It's sick. First of all, I didn't know it was the only one in the world because
Nice.
I'm sorry that every single museum, the flies are still attacking geese.
Not only is it the only Leonardo da Vinci in North America, it's the only Leonardo da Vinci in the world that has things on both sides.
Oh, yeah. I did go around to the back. They did have stuff on the other side. Geese, I'm sorry. I can't keep track of what museums have what and what's impressive to see because it seems like no matter what museum I walk into, there's 15 Picassos. I'm in Tokyo. I'm in Washington, D.C. There's always another Picasso. We get it. I saw some real funny... Geese, do you know the name of the artist who drew all those little kids? The like rich kids that looked funny? They had silly little sad faces.
Multiple of those.
Yeah, I like those multiple of those.
You mean like the royal like portraits of kids and stuff?
Yeah, those are fun.
Those are like the Dutch painters.
Actually, we saw some real cool art, just giant. And Geese is trying to act like she's somebody. She just walked right past these giant cool landscapes of these giant nature shots, and you had ships in the distance and animals, and it looked so sick, and there was some fruit.
Oh, yeah, the romantic paintings.
Yes, they were sick.
Who are the famous artists? I can't
remember. Oh my God, guys. Also, a little amusing tale about the museum. I go to the bathroom right before we're going to leave, and I thought Geese was going to be outside was going to be right outside on the little benches waiting for me. I didn't see her, so I thought, oh, did she go outside? So I go outside. She's not out there. So I come back inside to see if she's waiting inside there. She is. And I'm just like, oh, okay, there she is. And immediately, the entire staff of the museum's yelling, sir, come this way. I keep saying, no, I'm not going into the museum. I'm just waiting on her. And I point out Geese to these people. They're yelling, sir. I just got checked by their little metal detector thing, and I just walked out and walked back in a couple seconds later. But they were losing it. They could not fathom that I was not going to enter the museum. I was just trying to get Geese Peep's attention and let her know that I was already out of the bathroom. It was an ordeal. I almost got sent to federal prison on account of Geese Peep went to the bathroom and then sat on the bench.
I liked how you were surprised that the museums were free.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to get free museum passes over here. You have to be a student or sign up for something, but normally you do have to pay a fee. I had to pay in Japan too. I mean, it wasn't expensive, but it was a little bit.
Michael, you do pay a fee. It's called your taxes.
Yes, that's what she said. And those museums were huge. And Geese was telling me all about how Benjamin Franklin showed up and he said, I need this room to be the biggest room in the world for all this art. And
now, don't quote me on this. I vaguely remember that Benjamin Franklin really wanted a rotunda. And I think that's true. And that's why the National Gallery of Art there's a big rotunda. But now the more I'm saying it, the less I think that is true. So someone write in the actual history.
LookListenCast@gmail.com. So it turns out, guys, Geese Peep just makes up things, and then when you say it publicly, she says, wait, I take it back.
I know there's something about an old guy and a rotunda, and that's all I know.
That's all she knows. But in bad news, I went to the American Indian Museum and I was excited to eat American Indian food, and they didn't even have anything. So I just had some cherry juice, and I didn't get my fried bread or whatever. So.
Yeah. It was disappointing. We went, and the cafe was supposed to be open, but they didn't have the stuff ready, and it was sad. So
we had to rush over to the concert that Geese didn't go to. Poor Geese. I go all the way to D.C. to see her for a day, but then I'm gone 7 hours of that day at the concert while she just lays in bed with a tumbo.
Listen, listeners, you might be thinking, oh, he went to a concert. He was probably only gone for like 3 hours. No, he was gone from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. because there was a special concert for the VIPs because he's a big celebrity. So I was alone, just napping, which actually was fine for me because I was not feeling well and I was tired. So
I was on the artist guest list and I just waltzed in like I own the place. Very sick. Everybody go listen to Mother, new album, Grief Chapter, out now. Geese Peep, let's say goodbye to everybody. Hopefully next week we get a better episode. We'll see how Taylor felt about this one. All right, guys. See you later. Goodbye, everyone. Geese Peep, please say goodbye 3 times.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and then 2 more goodbyes. And then a 3rd goodbye.
Goodbye. Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company